The Acoustimen are three seasoned professionals: Dallas Atkins, known as Big Dal, Andy Thompson, otherwise known as Boots Andy, and Alex D. Smith, simply known as Alex D. Big Dal has been a showman for over 30 years. Boots Andy goes back to the 1980s, where he made a name for himself in theatre cabaret, while Alex D. started playing in pub rock bands in the 70s. They came together to form the Acoustimen, producing in 2022 and 2023 a collection of songs which they recently released in June under the title Welcome to Mulagalang Flats.
So sick and tired of all the lies, fed up with this hurtful hate. No more putting other people down, get up and shut that gate. Bubble wrap people, scared to get hurt, don't wanna feel offended. Common sense thrown out the window, avoiding how things are intended. Where is the love so many songs are sung about? Where is the love? Are we in a love drought? Where is the love in books we used to read? Where is the love we were told is all we need?
Doom and gloom wherever you go, love and laughter no longer on show. Bring back the joy, the fun we once shared. Let's get it back and let the love flow. Where is the love so many songs are sung about?
Where is the love? Are we in a love drought? Where is the love in books we used to read? Where is the love we were told is all we need?
Politicians do whatever they want, say that it's for our own good. Do this, take that, and you'll like it, not doing what they all should. Where is the love so many songs are sang about? Where is the love? Are we in a love drought? Where is the love in books we used to read? Where is the love we were told is all we need?
Tell us, tell us.
Love, love, love.
June 2023, I spoke with all three members about the album, commencing with Boots Andy.
G'day, Andy. Right.
G'day, Mike. How are you?
Not bad. Love Drought. What can you tell me about Love Drought?
Well, that was a song that Dallas actually wrote, and that was the very first song that we did together, and it was originally only going to be a single that the three of us were going to collaborate on, but we had such a good time, we decided an album was coming.
Okay. All right, Dallas, give me your take on Love Drought.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Mulagalang Flats. This is Dallas, Big Dal here. I'm hoping to get smaller over time. Don't have too much weight on the body these days.
Well,
I wrote Love Drought a couple of years ago and just sent hey, Andy, have a listen to this. What do you think? And he goes, oh, that's a great song. We've got to do something with it. And so we hooked up with Alex and formed the Acoustimen. And so Love Drought was the beginning of the Acoustimen. And the Love Drought song is just one day I was sitting, just watching the news, and I just turned to my wife and said, well, like, we're in a love drought. People just don't care for each other anymore. They say they're tolerant, but they're less tolerant than ever. You know, unless if they agree with their own opinion, sort of thing, then they'll be tolerant. But if you disagree and don't debate something, then they just hate each other. It's just crazy. And so I wrote the song all about that, love drought. Has a go at how people get offended over the most ridiculous and stupid things. 5 years ago, it would have been like, you know, water on a duck's back. They don't really care. But now it's like everyone cares for everything and anything, to the point that they end up hating each other. So I just go back to, you know, the big man upstairs says love one another. So how about we get back to that? They don't seem to want to do it. They just want to have anger, and that gives them a purpose. Sort of like that's what's giving them a purpose, to be angry and hateful. So love drought is all about, hey, let's get back to the love. And we've been through droughts and we've been through floods, and how about spiritually or in our hearts, I think, getting out of the love drought and just get back to helping each other, being compassionate with each other, no matter what the colour, what the faith, no matter what the gender. Just fair income. Come on, guys, wake up yourselves. We're in a beautiful country. Let's not destroy it.
Well, okay. Yeah. Then we've got Borosco.
Yeah, wonderful song. And that was a real game changer for us. We brought Alex on board to be the third member of the Acoustimen, and he straight up contributed his song Borosco, which is really a story about the Russian invasion of the Ukraine and how it affects just the ordinary everyday bloke who just wants to live a peaceful life in the Ukraine, and his world was turned upside down. And he did a stunning job on that with that song and the film clip that goes with it. And it is graphic, but it tells it as it is.
We've got Alex Smith here about Borosco.
Yes, look, Borosco was a song that was birthed out of the Ukraine war. And it was actually, I guess it was a protest song, which is, you know, I think quite clear in the lyrics. What I did was I had it on my heart to do something in regards to the Ukraine war. And this was, you know, quite a while back now. And what I did was I did a bit of research, and I came up with the name Borosco, which is a Ukrainian male name, and it means warrior. Yeah, which I thought was quite appropriate because it fitted in with what I had in my mind, which was to create a song where it talked about a peace-loving man who lived in a nice village in the country, who had his family around him, had his, you know, a really good life living with his friends and his family. And then that all changed when an aggressor decided that they wanted to steal his land.
Yeah.
And that's where Borosco was birthed from. It's a protest, and it asks the Russian soldiers to go back to where they do belong, because they do belong in Russia and not in Ukraine as a fully independent country. So that was really the background to Borosco.
Borosco was a homeboy. That's where he liked to be, among his friends and family. That's where he feels free. The place he lived was very cozy, and everyone he loved was there. A little farm and country village, and he had no desire to be elsewhere. The food was fresh and it was local, and there was plenty to share. That little farm and country village had much more than a song and a prayer.
Freedom Square, can you imagine this morning 2 cruise missiles?
No one ever wants to leave
hit
their
this
home.
Freedom Square, dozens of killed.
But when someone wants
this is the price of
your
freedom.
Land, they will just come and they will take it, unless you make a stand.
It's
seems all's fair in love and war, but someone always loses.
The borders can't be simply moved, while the rest of the world just snoozes.
Russia wants to steal your land, but it don't belong to them.
So you all stay and make a stand,
and fight and die as warriors. Your land has been destroyed. Your buildings are all laid low. Your people are all fighting. Your enemy must be made to go. So Russian army, please go home, back where you do belong. Not here among this peaceful nation. What you're doing is plain wrong. It seems all's fair in love and war, but someone always loses.
the borders can't be simply moved,
while the rest of the world just snoozes. Russia wants to steal your land, but it don't belong to them.
so you all stay and make a stand,
And fight and die as warriors.
В этой школе было очень много детей. Я не знаю, выжили они или нет. Просто перешлите всем своим русским друзьям это видео.
We got to My Democracy, which is a Greenies song, and they said that's one of yours.
It is my Greenie song. My Democracy. Okay. Yeah, look, probably a similar vein to Dallas talking about love drought, but I saw the absurdity of what's going on in the political correctness in but more also in the energy sector. Down here in Bairnsdale, we were having some brownouts at the time with power going off. And at the same time, our beloved Premier was saying how wonderful it is that we're investing heaps into solar and wind power.
We got that in the ACT at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, and the reality is, you know, to run Australia by solar power, you would have to cover every square foot of Australia with solar panels to make it work. And as far as wind goes, it's such a small percentage for such a massive amount of investment. Now, I'm all for renewables, I really am, but not at the cost of skyrocketing electricity prices when you've got people who are pensioners who are struggling to put food in their mouths. And it becomes just this absurd thing. So when I wrote My Democracy, I wrote it as a black comedy from the point of view of three cranky old age pensioners sitting in rocking chairs going on about what the world's coming to. But there's also a very big grain of truth in the whole thing. You know, it's absurd. And I could bang on for hours about, you know, our energy system in this country. Yeah, there's so much more I could say, but suffice to say, it's a lovely little black comedy piece about the absurdity and of the priorities of our governments, both state and federal.
Yep.
And one last little thing, you know, our whole energy crisis. I mean, your average family of four is spending $250 a month on electricity alone now. You know what? If they actually sucked it up and put nuclear in, it would probably all cost us about 10 cents a month. But you can't say the word nuclear because that's actually a swear word in this country.
When I woke this morning, I stayed in my bed. I had no purpose, got the government instead. They told me I'd own nothing in 2032, but I'd be happy, just like you and you and you. They closed the coal mine, too dirty, they said. You gotta use the wind and the sun instead. No power for a shower or lights after 8, but don't you worry, you're all doing great. It's all illusion, there's no freedom of choice. Say what you want, but you get no voice. You're forced to drink the water from the government tap. It tastes a little bit funny, but it keeps us all on track, yeah. Keeps us all on track, yeah. I don't really like this prescribed life, but if I buck the system, get into so much strife. No lights, double taxes for me and my wife. But don't you worry about that, enjoy your free life. It's all illusion, there's no freedom of choice. Say what you want, but you get no voice. Forced to drink the water from the government tap. Tastes a little bit funny, but it keeps us all on track, yeah. Keeps us all on track, yeah. She's my birthing partner, not a mother of life. I'm about as popular as a case of rabies if I don't fight for the right for men to have babies. It's all an illusion, your freedom of choice. Say what you want, but you get no voice. You're forced to drink the water from the government tap. It tastes a little bit funny, but it keeps us all on track, yeah. Keeps us all on track, yeah. Need a license for this, a permit for that. I must be trackable, traceable, 'cause my life is their own. Screw your illusion, it's no freedom of choice. I'll say what I want, gonna get back my voice. Not drinking water from no government tap.
I'm gonna take my life right back, yeah. 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 Take my life right.
Living in Australia.
Yeah,
Going on
well,
about Bondi Beach and everything else.
that comes back to me to hear Big Dal here, because I do love Australia. Australia, it's a great country. It's got amazing stuff. You go over the border, you see some beautiful things going on, and yet, so I'm just trying to promote. We're living in a beautiful country. Let's not destroy it.
Yeah.
So we're living in Australia. It's got amazing zoos and big statues, and amazing people. Come to Mulagalang Flats and join us at the pub. Everyone will just love you, no matter who you are, no matter what colour, no matter what your faith, no matter what your gender, no matter what. You know, we're living in a beautiful country, but slowly the wokeism is destroying us. And so that was just my little tourist promo.
Yeah, well, there's a few things I could say about running the country too. Yeah. And they won't let me.
I got to say, Dallas, I want to congratulate you too, mate, because in that song and indeed the video clip that goes with it, I'd like to congratulate you because you brought boganism to an art form, buddy.
And loved every minute of it.
So not woke.
Oh, beautiful.
You got that crazy guy sitting in the chair there, just having a beer, you know.
At 10:30.
Or a Milo.
Milo as well. Yeah, you got to have Milo. Aussie drink, Aussie.
Yeah, good Milo. Yeah.
Good song.
Something
Yeah.
else
So living in Australia, the place to be.
The harbour bridge, the opera house, the golden sand and seas, hot and cold weather of all degrees. Oh, Barrier Reef to Bondi, Apostles Uluru, Ocean Road Highway. Oh, I love Taronga Zoo.
We got the foodie and the cricket, meat pies and the sauce, kangaroos, koalas, tall gum trees, of course, Blue Mountain, Flinders Ranges, snow and the heat. First Nations people, Australia you can't beat. We're living in Australia, no other place like this. Living in Australia, a place you can't resist. Living in Australia, sun, sand and life. Living in Australia, a place of pure delight.
Harbour Bridge, the Opera House, the golden sand and seas, hot and cold weather of all degrees. Barrier Reef to Bondi, Apostles Uluru, Ocean Road Highway, Taronga Zoo.
We're living in Australia, no other place like this. Living in Australia, a place you can't resist. Living in Australia, sun, sand and life. Living in Australia, a place of pure delight. A place like this. Living in Australia, a place you can't resist. Living in Australia, sun, sand and life. Living in Australia, a place of pure delight. Live in Australia. Live in Australia. Live in Australia. Live in Australia. Got the footy and the cricket, meat pies and the sauce, kangaroos, koalas, tall gum trees, of course, Blue Mountains, Flinders Ranges, snow and the heat. First Nations people, Australia you can't beat. Living in Australia, no other place like this. Living in Australia, a place you can't resist. Living in Australia, sun, sand and light. Living in Australia, Australia, a place of pure delights. A place of pure delights. Living in Australia. Well, I love Taronga Zoo.
I need some dry. You got it, number 5. You reckon?
Okay. Once again, this is Alex D. Smith. This is another contribution to what I call Australian folk music, which is capturing the history and the art of Australia. Now, we've just gone through a solid year of rain.
Yep.
And more rain.
And more.
And before that was 2 years of bushfires. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, after 2 years of bushfires. And anyway, I was inspired in my damp moment to put together a song that captured that moment in time when I was sitting there wet on my deck. And anyway, yes, it talks through that whole of that scene where we went from one season to the next season with a little bit of hope in our hearts, but unfortunately a weatherman that was not going to give us good news. So that was a capture of it all the way through till the continued rain. And at the very end, as it says, you know, everything was wet and we were stuck up a tree. But you know, the reality is there was a truthism and a recognition that we were putting, I guess, a light-hearted touch to the concept of all this rain. But the reality is it costs a lot of people their livings, their houses, and so the song was actually dedicated to them as well. Just like in fires, but with the rain, we had terrible floods in Lismore and other places. And this was a little bit of a salute in a light way to those people as well.
Yeah, it's my big political meaning when you talk about this is the fact that it's the states that control the rivers and not the national government. And if we had the national government, we could put in a series of proper dams and probably canals. Now they talk about rivers drying up like the old Murray and the Darling and things like that. And then in other places we've got the floods. If all of that was connected up with canals and pipes and everything else, you could run it all into old Lake Air, you know, which they say, oh, you can't use because it's full of salt water. It's only full of salt water in the summertime when there's no water going in there.
Yeah.
So suddenly had using it as a reciprocal is the lowest place in Australia. Put it all in there and then pull it back out again when you have the droughts and that on. You can minimise your droughts, minimise your floods, and a lot of the problems that we've got in Australia we can get rid of. But anyway,
unfortunately, our government's got bigger priorities at the moment.
They don't think beyond 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about people starving and people living homeless and people, not being able to pay their electricity bills. It's something else.
They've got to make themselves popular for their 3 terms of government so they can get their political pension.
Okay, okay, guys. There's too much common sense coming out here. Let's not. Okay,
can't handle it.
We can't be doing that.
I'm offended by that.
Yeah, I take offence and a gate.
I'll just have another beer at the Mulagalang Flats.
Summer has come for 21, and all our hopes are high. For sun and fun and long hot days and beautiful blue skies. But the weatherman had another plan, not good for you and me. Rain and rain, and then some more, and floods for all to see. My plants have drowned and I am going moldy. Autumn has come for 22 and all our hopes are high. Long evenings hang with our friends, mild nights have been dry. But the weatherman had another plan, not good for you and me.
Rain and rain, and then some more, and floods for all to see.
Give me some dry, I need some dry. Here along the great East Coast we are wet as wet can be. Give me some dry, I need to dry. My house is damp, my plants have drowned and I am going moldy.
Winter has come for 22, and all our hopes are high. For walks along the ocean front and coffees under blue sky.
But the weatherman had another plan, not good for you and me.
Rain and rain, and then some more, and floods for all to see.
Give me some dry, I need some dry. Here along the great East Coast we are wet as wet can be. Give me some dry, I need to dry. My house is damp, my plants have drowned and I am going moldy. Spring is coming for 22 and all our hopes are high. For sun and warmth to prevail and the winds to blow dry. But the weatherman had another plan, not good for you and me.
Rain and rain, and then some more, and floods for all to see.
It's been a wet year, a real wet year. A year of puddles and potholes that wanna swallow me. It's been a wet year, a real wet year. My tank is full just like my pool and I'm stuck up a tree.
Yeah, all right, okay. We then get on to the Ballad of 59. This is an Elvis Presley song.
Yeah,
baby.
It was funny. That song came about. It was synchronicity, I suppose, is the word that or serendipity. Sorry. We'd been, as you can see, we do get a little bit political in what we write about, and I was looking for a song that at the time I wanted to write that went away from that a little bit and showed a little bit of depth of what we can do. And I was thinking in terms of the heritage of music. People like us are sitting here doing what we're doing now thanks to the people who brought rock and roll all the way before us. Mm-hmm. I have a 15-year-old son, and we're talking about this, and I said, I bet you've never seen the old movie Rock Around the Clock. No, of course not, you know. So let me see if I can find it. I found it on YouTube, which is the story of Bill Haley and the Comets, and, you know, a bit of a Hollywoodized version of how they came to, you know, be world famous. And that got me thinking as to all of those artists from that time, and we're going back pre-Beatles here even. You know, of course, we're talking about the mid-50s when music was really changing, and we were going from swing dance bands into rock and roll. And there were a lot of artists that had their 15 minutes of fame and gave their heart and soul to this new music, and then it was like the 15-minute fad for them, and they were discarded on the rubbish heap. And my thought was, well, let's tell that story. As well as that going on in my head at the time, I was revisiting one of my favourite old albums, which was Dire Straits, and of course Sultans of Swing, their first album. And Sultans of Swing, I think, is just a wonderful song, and I've always wanted to write an epic ballad, you know. So I wrote the story of an imaginary rock and roll singer, and it goes from the very beginnings where he, you know, walks into a music shop and sees this beautiful Gibson 335 guitar, and right up to him becoming world famous and his undoing, and then going back to his roots. And it was a little bit of an homage. And what I thought would be really cool, the song came out beautifully. I was really thrilled with what Alex and Dallas contributed into that song. And I might also add there'd have been a lot more of Dallas in that song too, except for Dallas got a bit crook there for a while, and you know, but he came out with the most beautiful solo right in the heart of this song. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of that's that song in a nutshell. It is simply non-political. It is an homage to the people who brought rock and roll to us, and it influenced people like the Beatles, who of course went on to influence just about every other band afterwards. But to finish up, what a wonderful heritage we have, you know, from rock and roll, and you know, blokes like us are doing what we're doing here now, all because of the people that just made popular music what it is.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, yes, that's right, Elvis Presley.
Well, I saw Elvis Presley on a TV show. I said to my brother, this rock will grow. So I went down to the music shop. I went through the door, yeah, I could not stop that fire in my soul, yeah. Well, I went straight to 335, it was 1959, I felt so alive. She was a lovely blonde with a black headstock. I got me some lessons from the guy in the shop, and the fire burned my soul. Acoustic rock and roll, yeah, rock and roll. I played my heart away every night at Bo's Cafe, and I played my dreams took flight. People danced into the night. I'd sold my soul down at the crossroads to the god of rock and roll, yeah. Rock and roll, rock, rock, rock and roll. Well, a man came up and said, son, you're good. We gotta get you from this neighborhood. Can you play some swing as well as rock? Said, I will play what you want, but I'll never ever stop that fire in my soul. Acoustic rock and roll, yeah. Took my soul down the long, long winding road. Well, they put me on TV with a man called Boom. People filed on in and they filled the room. The band started playing a little bebop. I started to play, but I could not stop. That fire was in my soul. Acoustic rock and roll, yeah, rock and roll. I said, rock, rock, rock and roll. I played my heart away right there on the TV stage. The fingers flew and eyes burned bright. The crowd screamed in pure delight. I'd sold my soul, or so it seemed, to the gods of the record machine, yeah. Record machine, I said, yeah, yeah, record machine. Time stood still as the years flew by. World tours and fame, they got me high. Then it all slowed down and it seemed to stop. The fashion changed and no one wanted to rock. And the fire in my soul had nowhere to go.
No one around him seemed he had no place to go. Fair weather friends disappeared like autumn leaves in the snow. Drugs and booze didn't kill him, but they got him so low. I picked my brother up and brought him home to Cafe Beau.
The place was full, it was an empty stage. He said, get up there, you're all the rage. We don't play disco in this town, just rhythm and blues, so let's get down. Cause the fire's in our soul. Acoustic rock and roll, yeah, rock and roll. I said, rock, rock, rock and roll. I played my heart away once again at Beau's Cafe. I played, my fingers flew, and as I played, I finally knew I'd found my soul down at the crossroads. Brothers and sisters, thank the Lord for rock and roll, rock and roll. I said, rock, rock, rock and roll. I said, rock, rock, rock and roll. I said, rock, rock, rock and roll forever.
In the shed. Want to get away from it all.
In the shed, this is Big Dal here. In the shed, it's a deep, meaningful, full-on, non-political song,
Ditty.
but
Is that what it sounded like?
it may offend women if you know what a woman is, because some people don't know these days. But this is about a man's domain. This is where the man hangs out to get away from the other ones. You know, it's where we hide, it's where we store our things, and it's the man's shed. And I still, at the back of my farm there, Mulagalang Flats, I've got this massive studio inside this massive shed. I've even got one of the biggest Beatles memorabilia collection stored away in there as well.
Oh, good.
Which is going to the Powerhouse Museum in Sydney. I'm donating the whole lot to them. But this is the man's shed. We can set up, we can do whatever, we can jam, we can dance,
play slot cars.
We can play slot cars. We can clean cars. We've got all the smelling bottles and cans that if you want to get a bit of a high of some sort, just walk past and have a sniff.
Actually, there's a picture of the shed right behind you, Dallas.
Yeah, there is right there. Yeah, it's got everything there. Yeah, it smells of kerosene, smells of petrol, smells of oil. It's just beautiful. Everything that people want to get rid of. It is lovely.
Other smells from Dallas too.
No, that's my Metamucil going through me. So the shed's all about the man's domain. It's a fabulous, fun song, and most men will love it. And women have their own little hideaway place they like to get away as well. You know, so it's the man's shed.
Hello? You gonna have a coffee or not?
Yeah, later.
What's he doing in there?
I have no idea.
Fixing it.
Okay. Oi! Your lunch is ready. Can you please hurry up and come out?
All day like a dog on a bone. The days run out, it's time to go home. Put my feet up and turn off the phone, but I forgot I'm not alone.
Kids run around, I'm going insane. The wife's in my ear, constant complaint. Nothing is easy, so I say, but that didn't help, no wonder I'm great.
Eat my food and grab a beer. Kiss the wife, good night, my dear. I gotta get right inside my head. Only one place to go.
To the man's shed. The only place that is for me. Only beer, no cups of tea. I turn on the game and eat a hot chip. Sit back, relax, and let one rip. No noisy children screaming at me. It's the only place I can be free. Don't get me wrong, I love them a lot, but the door is locked. This is my spot in the shed. With all me mates in the shed. In the man's shed. Is that pronoun? In the man's shed. In the shed. In the shed. In the shed. In the man's shed. I can hide away, not answer a call. No visitors, no mother-in-law. This time is mine, it's my time, I said. There's too much noise inside my head, but not in the shed. No, no. In the shed. In the shed. In the man's shed. They're in the shed. In the shed. Where are we? In the shed. In the man's shed. Shut up, dog.
Oi, I'm going to bed now. I'll sleep in your shed, see if I care.
Yeah, good stuff, yeah. Monday Morning Blues comes up next.
Oh, good song.
Had a great weekend.
This is all about that great weekend. Yeah, this is Alex again. And Monday Morning Blues is a nice little ditty, a blues song, of course, because it's called Monday Morning Blues. And it's all about that Monday morning, when you've had a great weekend and all of a sudden you wake up on Monday morning and realize, I can't move. I just stayed up way too late last night.
Yeah, well,
I need some more sleep.
That's when my program goes to work.
Yeah, and so it's a bit of a story about the realization on Monday morning of your situation, through to Monday lunch when you still haven't resolved your situation, followed through by a bit later in the day when the boss asks you to leave, but you suddenly have this amazing epiphany that I can stay up late every night now and sleep in every morning.
Right.
Dang, how am I going to pay my rent?
Too much Milo.
Yeah, too much Milo.
And you haven't seen
home quite some time ago, so at least we don't have to pay rent and things like that. I see other pensioners around me, by the time they pay their rent, there's too much left to them.
It's hard.
To do other things,
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday Morning Blues.
I woke up this morning, wasn't sure where I should be. My eyes were very foggy and I'm trying hard to see, but I stayed up way too late last night. Now I need me some more sleep, but it's Monday morning, I got places to be. Well, my boss wants me in the office, I'm running late. I know he's really cranky at me, got no one to blame. I stayed away too late last night, I need me some more sleep, 'cause it's a Monday midday, I got places I should be. He just called me, he was sounding quite irate. I wasn't where I should be, 'cause I'm running late. Now I can stay up all night now and sleep in all day long. Well, he said, don't you come back, and then he threw me out the door. No more work. No way. Woohoo! I can stay up every night now. And sleep all day. Hang on a second. How will I pay my rent? No job. Don't worry, man. Just play your guitar. Oh, let those fingers do the walking there, boy.
Guys to put this album together?
Oh, a year?
Yeah.
It'd be a year, just on a year, I think it is, of collaborating going on. I think it's pretty well a year since Love Drought first came out, actually. It's been an amazing experience. It really has. We've grown as musicians, we've grown as collaborators, and we've had a lot of laughs along the way too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we've grown as recording artists and grown as producers and grown as videographers.
Yeah, I was going to say Monday Morning Blues has got a video coming out very soon, haven't we?
We do indeed.
Oh, great. Right, okay. And the final track you got there, of course, is Letter to Putin. You're asking the question, what the hell are you going to do now when the war's finished?
Yeah, look, before I talk about Letter to Putin, I actually want to pay tribute to Alex, actually, because when Alex wrote Borosco, that was a real game changer for us, and I was very fortunate that I got to produce that song, and I fell in love with it, no other doubt about it, and it was clearly a direction that we could do more in, and, 6 months went by, and I kept coming back and listening to Borosco going, well, in due fairness, I suppose you should hear from the other side, and that got me to thinking, well, if I could have an interview with Mr. Putin, what would I want to say to him? What would I want to ask him? And my first question was, well, let's just say for a minute that you do win the war. Nobody wins. No one ever wins in any war. But let's say that you win the war. What are you going to do? What's going to be left? Well, all these people, you've killed them. For what?
What you gonna do when the war is over? When all that's left is a hole in the ground. What you gonna do when the war is over? And silence is the only sound. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the soldiers go home? To find the ones they love are memories in the dirt. The ones that remain are clearly shattered, blaming you for their trauma and their hurt. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Yeah, 'cause no one ever wins in any war. There is no victory over shame, and you can't eat or drink on empty pride. So what you gonna do? Yeah, what you gonna do? Yeah,
You ignore the victims with derision, while politicians invent a history full of lies and revisions. All scenes clean for Russian television. Never see the troops raping, looting or beating, while gangs of children fight to just keep eating. Yeah, what you gotta do? Yeah, no one ever wins in any war. There is no victory over shame. You can't eat or drink on empty pride. So what you gonna do? Yeah, whoa. What you gonna do? Yeah.
shame.
You can't eat or drink on empty pride.
So what you gonna do, yeah, as the world moves on, as the world moves on?
What you gonna do, yeah, the world moves on. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
People want to get their hands on your album, you've got a website or anything like that?
Yeah, Dallas will tell you about that one.
Yeah, we have a website, and it's www.thestandard.theacoustimen.com, and you can get it a few ways. You can get the physical CD. You can get a USB. We've got a lovely USB with as a guitar, and it's got all the album plus some videos on it. Or if you're more into streaming, instead of money going to some other company that sends it to you, just send us your email, put the money in the account, and we will send you a file with all the songs on it for you to do whatever you like with. And plus, you can get them on Spotify and stuff like that. But buy from us.
You only get 0.5 cent for that.
Yeah, we only get very minimal bad money for that. And the Spotify owners get everything. So go to our website and buy it from us. That way it will support us and financially help us produce another album. And I say that for all artists. Go to their website and buy from them.
Yeah. From a production point of view too, what you're getting on Spotify is, it's 190 kilobyte of highly compressed sound. And I know that a lot of people listen to music these days on mobile phones with little 2-centimeter speakers. But I'm really proud of the fact, from the mastering point of view and from the mixing point of view with this album, it can hold. We've punched way above our weight with this, the three of us, and we've all had our producers' hats on for this at various stages. But what you're getting is 24-bit high definition sound that when you hear it off, when you hear it off the CD, you'll just listen to the Spotify and it'll show it up for what it is, So look, it's going to be a $20 investment. I think for this month we're actually giving the postage for free, I think. But when you hear it, it's just stunning. Everything you're hearing digitally on the internet is compressed sound to a greater or lesser degree. What we're giving you on this CD is fabulous, and part of the reason there's only 9 songs on the CD because that's what you can fit on a CD when you're using 24-bit technology.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, guys. Well, congratulations on a good album. It's certainly different. I've got to say that for it. I'm sure people are going to be impressed when they hear it with your comments onto the various tracks.
Fantastic.
Acoustimen.com.
And if you want to write and tell us you think it's a load of rubbish, theacoustimen@gmail.com.
Yeah, well, I always say once you're sick of the CD, turn it over. It becomes a great coaster for your coffee.
Well, there you go. Good thought. Yeah.
It's a bargain.
Multitasking.
And Acoustimen is spelled Acoustimen, people. Make sure you get the spelling right, otherwise you won't.
An easy way to remember us is if you take the word acoustic, if you take off the C and add an MEN.
There you go, easy. All right, guys, thank you for the interview. Much appreciated.
Cheers.
Thank you, Michael. Much appreciated.
Thanks for coming to Mulagalang Flats.
All right, okay.